It's 10 a.m. and we're starting off with some breaking news which is coming in at this point. Maharashtra Home Department has issued a notice stating that the use of loudspeakers at religious sites in the state are to be allowed only with due permission. State Home Minister Dilip Valse Patil will hold a meeting with the DGP today to instruct him to direct all police commissioners and officers on this. Now, joining me live is my colleague Alisha. Alisha, this is a big development because we were seeing a lot of activity around the government notice on loudspeakers. Can you please tell me more about this?
Well, it's a big statement coming from Maharashtra Home Minister, where he has clearly stated that the use of loudspeaker will only be allowed if a permission has been taken from the certain religious places. So, even Maharashtra Home Minister Dilip Valse Patil, who is going to hold a meeting with the DGP today, and after which all the officials from all the districts will be instructed that the permission of the loudspeaker at any religious places, the permission which has been given will be taken into the consideration, and after which, if some of the other people do install the loudspeaker, the action will be initiated against those. Importantly, we know that already Nasik CP has given a order to the city, stating that the religious places has the time till the 3rd May to take a permission to use of loudspeaker, and after which, if someone install or if there is a use of the loudspeaker after the 3rd of May, and if that not permissible, so the strict action will be taken against those people who have been responsible for the same. So this is a very big statement also coming in from Maharashtra Home Department, where they have decided that the use of loudspeaker in religion places, there should be the permission should be taken from the considered police officials, and if there is a permission only, then only there can be the use of loudspeaker, otherwise the strict action will be initiated.
Well, Alisha, you know that there was a huge row in Maharashtra over the loudspeakers issue. Now, we know that the MNS chief had clearly said that the issue is not really about religion, but it's more about making sure that everyone follows the rules.
Well, of course, we saw that there was some of the dispute also even happened in Amravati, where now Section 144 has already been imposed. But importantly, this decision has been coming after the law and order situation, which is been messing up in most of the city, in most of the district in Maharashtra. And now where the Maharashtra Home Minister Dilip Valse Patil is also going to hold a meeting with the DGP Maharashtra. There will be a brief meeting between them. And what is the situation here specifically when it comes to the loudspeaker at the religion places, because this has now come from the Maharashtra Home Department, where they have already stated that only the use of loudspeaker will be allowed to those who have taken the permission. Otherwise, if someone if not taken the permission and then using the loudspeaker, the strict action will be taken against the considered person. But yes, a brief meeting will be held between Maharashtra Home Minister and DGP, after which the seniors official, the police officials or the district officials will be taken into the consideration, and the instructions will be given to them how they have to look after it. But yes, it's a really big step from the Maharashtra government, because we saw that there are some of the disputes that has been coming over whether the flag or whether the loudspeaker in the state of Maharashtra, after which Dilip Valse Patil, who is going to have a meeting with the DGP, and the instructions will be given to the other police officials.
Atul Bhatkarkar, BJP, of the BJP, is joining me on the phone line. Sir, you know, this is definitely a big development, because we were seeing so many calls from the MNS to ban loudspeakers in the state.
Definitely. First of all, Mumbai Bharatiya Janata Party met Commissioner of Police of Mumbai 15 days ago, and we demanded that if he is starting campaign against voice pollution, then he should look after to the loudspeakers on the mosque. And that time, he assured us that they will look into it. And for us, it is not a religious issue, it is a social issue. and all are equal before the law. But unfortunately, day before yesterday, Home Minister stated that there was no such any judgment. So we send in judgment of Supreme Court, High Court, that loudspeaker on the mast are not allowed. And so, henceforth, we will start campaign against the loudspeaker on the mast. Rule, law should be applicable to everybody, and it should be one to everybody. That is our stand.
Okay, sir, hold on with us. We are having Majid Memon on the phone line too. Sir, what is your first reaction of this big development which is coming, that that Maharashtra government has issued a notice right now on the loudspeaker app?
You are asking me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Memon.
See, the first and the foremost thing is that this controversy on loudspeaker should not have been raised in the holy month of Ramadan. It is per face appearing to be mischievous. If anybody had any problem with loudspeaker, the loudspeaker 365 days throughout all the mosques in the country are going on. Why this issue has been raised during Ramadan? It speaks volumes of the undercurrent and the mischief behind it, number one. Number two, that there have been decisions of the courts, and those who are using loudspeakers in the mosques have been asked that they should also respect the neighborhood, they should also respect the environmental laws, they should also respect the volume of tone, and this has been on throughout thousands and thousands of mosques throughout the country. There has to be a settled rule for everybody in India under the Constitution and under the guidance of Supreme Court and various High Courts. Why should political parties take up this matter and then create unnecessary rift between communities and between create some kind of a threat to breach of peace, and more particularly in the holy month of Ramadan?
Sir, Majid Memon, sir, just hold on. I think Mr. Atul Bhatkhalkar is the right person to answer to what you just said.
As I earlier said, we raised this issue with the CP of Mumbai when he initiated movement against the voice pollution. And so it is not question of Ramzan is going on or not. Then why CP of Mumbai started actions against the voice pollution? It is a good thing, but law should be applicable to everybody same. And there is a Supreme Court decision. Loudspeakers on mosque or on any other thing is not legal, and this government claims that they are secular, which is they are not. And if they are secular, they should apply law everybody to the common fashion. But what they are not doing it, and they are in fact politicizing the all issues regarding the loudspeaker on the mosque.
Right. Sir, you heard what, Menon, sir, you just heard what Mr. Atul Bhatkhalkar said about, he raised the question of being secular. What do you have to say about that?
No, I must tell my friend that our secularism is not to be tested by the mind of BJP and MNS, etc. You see, our secularism, we know what is the extent of our secularism, how our secularism is to be put into practice on the ground. We need not have lessons from people who do not believe in secularism. Now, therefore, that part of it is over. But what I'm saying is that our state of Maharashtra is currently run by a secular group of people, and this mischievous issue has been raised by a party which has no existence either in the assembly or in the parliament, and it is just only on the road that certain people are collected by paying money, and then they make noise about all this. Anyway, we believe in rule of law, and we will follow what the law says.
Atul Bhatkhalkar, sir, Mr. Memon has just said that they believe in the rule of law. What do you have to say regarding that? Since, of course, soon there will be a notice issued soon on this route.
If they really believe in rule of law, then they should follow the Supreme Court verdict. But unfortunately, this coalition government, Mahavinash Aghadi, of state government is nothing but they are indulging in pseudo-secularism. And they are creating rift between the society. Everybody noticed that in last week, even senior leader like Sharad Pawar spoke totally blatant lie about the Baba Saheb Purandare regarding Shivaji Maharaj stand. And now they are making an issue out of that. My humble request to all these three political parties, please follow the rule of law. Whatever Supreme Court has said, you have to follow that. And if at all they think that we are politicizing the issue, then we will not get chance to politicize the issue. If they follow the rule of law, follow the Supreme Court decision, then issue will be over. There is no question. But they are not doing that, and they are always indulging in minority appeasement. And that's why these all incidents and things are happening.
Right, sir. Majid sir, you just heard what Mr. Atul has just said.
I don't propose to carry this any further. You see, this is ulta chor kotwal ko date. Who is creating rift? Who is spreading hatred? There is no whole
You are creating the rift, Mr. Menon.
I don't have to reply to this.
Okay.
Well, Atul sir, you know what Majid Memon has said about being secular, and the MNS chief had also said something on those lines. Now, I would like both of you to answer that. How do we make sure that everything in India, we make sure it's secular, but we also make sure the rules are being followed, because that is where the controversy is coming in, right? How do we follow the rules and also make sure that India remains secular? I would like Mr. Atul Bhatkalkar to start, and then I will go to you, Mr. Majid Memon. Okay, we have lost both our guests here on this big story that we are breaking on Republic. And in fact, the story is that the row over loudspeakers call is we're getting a MHA notice on that, and the use of loudspeakers at the religious sites in the state will be allowed only with due permission. Now that is the latest that we're breaking in Republic. I would like to go back to Alisha. Alisha, you have been covering this story for days now. So what is the pulse on the ground? What do people have to say about the loudspeaker row in Maharashtra?
Well, Shivangi, we know that there are several in many of the districts in the state of Maharashtra where the people have already showed, like we have saw many disputes due to the loudspeaker in the many districts. But now this decision which has been coming from the Maharashtra Home Department is certainly can go through some of the solution, because we know that it is only now the loudspeaker, the use of loudspeaker can only be used if it's been permitted. If not, if there is no permission given by the police official, the police official which has been allocated for the same, but only if there is a permission one can use the loudspeaker to the any religious places. But if there is no permission has been granted to the certain religion, or even if there is a use of loudspeaker, so of course there can be the strict action will be initiated against the culprit, whoever found guilty for this. But yes, there will be a discussion, a detailed discussion,
right, Alisha,
between
right,
Maharashtra Home Minister Dilip Walse Patil and DGP,
Alisha,
and then only after which the certain instructions will be given to the senior officers.
Right. Thank you, Alisha, for getting us the latest on this development.